Whoop, I got trapped into reading something and I got lost. Sorry about that, traders. I'm looking at a chart and I started reading something on it, and the next thing I know is Robin's calling saying, "Hey, wake up, wake up, wake up." Well, it is Friday. It's the last day of the week. I don't know how many of you are going to be here, solely because of the holidays, of course. Loading that. Let's put that up there. There we are. You can see there's the that's the euro. Let's go to the dollar index. There's the dollar index there. You see it's kind of hovering along. It slid. It almost got into the buy. It looks. I'm confused. Let me just reload this thing because it looked like it was back into the buy last night. Let's try resetting that thing. Yeah, there we go. It's playing with the buy there now. We just refreshed it. It's playing with that buy. It's trying to get into the buy over on the J4X. We have the same situation. The product has been a lot of red, and it's like in a triangle going sideways. That's the weekly right there. Let's take a look at the daily. And let's get to the chat line. I really drifted off out there. I was just staring at the charts. I started thinking, okay, webinar is in 2 minutes, and it was like 3 minutes, and it was 2 minutes. It's like, okay, and then I looked at something and saw something inside a chart, and I thought, that's curious. The next thing I know is Robin's calling. So, wake up, wake up. There we are. And let's see if there's anything on the chat line. So far, nothing. Or at least no. Oh no, I see it. There's George. Good morning, George. Yeah, I know. Wake up, Doc. Wake up. There's Mina. I know. Hey, Mina. And thank you, Robin, for waking me up and getting me going. I was just getting into the zone, just staring at a chart. That happens, I guess. You know, I mean, it's all part of the process there. So, anyhow, that's where we are at the moment, and we'll see how that all plays out. So, I think we're overall, it's just kind of quiet. I thought yesterday was grinding to nothing, and then they just slowly slammed the U.S. stock market, put a good push on the downside, nothing major, and then they bounced it back, and it's slowly inching its way back up again, pretty good, I guess you could say. It's come back over 50%. The bond market, I noticed, and the dollar keeps on holding firm, which means to me, basically nobody's around. That's what it really comes down to. Whoop. A hiccup. How about that? I haven't had that in a while. So that is where we're at. Anybody see anything they want to look at? If not, we'll just go right over to the euro. The euro is doing the same thing. It just keeps on dancing on the edge of nowhere. That's really what it comes down to. Let's open that up right there. I mean, it really is sitting on nowhere. They're all flattening out. I was amazed that the stock market could find that much energy to get it pushed down yesterday. And then, like I said, it's marching back up. It's about 50% back, if not 60% back from where they sold it off. So there wasn't a lot of, let's put it this way, there wasn't a lot of conviction to that action overall. And you can see here, there is the euro. You see how flat it is. And that's the holidays. That's the way it usually works. I remember when I was young with the teller rate. Anybody remember teller rate out there? That was one of the circuits that fed interbank markets. And you looked up at the teller rate, and over the next, 10 below zero here. Ouch. Is that what you, really, Robin? Ooh. Any snow or dust or, dusty snow coming in? We had some really super winds. Robin and I are about 1,700 kilometers away from each other. So we're not near each other, that's for sure. Robin's out in Chicago, and I'm outside of Philadelphia. So let's see, where are we at here? So yes, Burr, 2 inches. That's not bad. That's nothing. I thought there was supposed to be. I didn't hear anything on the quantity. So I know you were saying that you'd heard from a friend that they thought that you were going to get hit with a real large amount. there may not be that much moisture, on the outskirts. It's just the cold temperatures, really. And so that is where we're at. And you can see when I was talking about the teller rate, to a great extent, within, I would say, in the next couple hours, the currencies really become dead. Now, will we really see that much quietness in the stock market as the day goes on? It's a full day here, but I can't. They should have given us a half a day off. Because people are just not going to be paying attention. It's going to be quiet. 2,000 inches. 2,000 inches. You see, 2,000 inches. That would be, you'd be like, you're talking on 2,000 inches. You're talking about, something crazy like 16 foot of snow. Almost 17 foot of snow. So that's a lot. What would that be? That would be something like 8 centimeters of snow. I don't think so. Let's see. Weather people get excited for the first storm. I guess. Yeah. I mean, that's what they wait all year long to report it. So that's what they do. That is the action. And so we thought, we were grinding to a halt there yesterday because of the currencies and everything else looking slow. But the Congress passed some crazy omnibus bill, and I think it shook a lot of people up. They were like, "Wow, this is irresponsible." So stock market got smacked down a little bit. But and what we have at the end is it at the end of this webinar? Yeah, at the end of this webinar today, we have an inflation number come out. So we'll stay on for that. So we'll make up the extra couple minutes. We have some type of an official inflation number kicking out. So that could be fun since everybody's staring at inflation. All right, let's go over to the cable. See what the cable looks like. Oh, we didn't put the euro up there. Let's put the euro up there first. Take a look at that. And you see that sideways action that we're having right there. And then let's see what the weekly looks like. I'm sure it has no change whatsoever. It's just sitting in the buy side, just kind of quiet, digesting the whole action. As you can see right here, we're the same way right there. Let's see if we can do this. Let's move that over just a little bit like that. Yeah, so you can see like right there, same thing. We're in a weekly buy. It's in a weekly buy. So there's not a lot of panic going on. Everybody's thinking more about holiday adventures. Let's have a sip of water. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Seeing family, good times as always, the whole bit. All right, and now let's take a look at the cable. And there's the weekly on the cable. Right, where's it at? Right there. And you can see that right here. There's the cable. Now, cable is a little bit more leakier, and it's showing a little bit more weakness. A little flattish right there. Daily sell now, we're looking at 7 full days, and the weekly itself has broken the manifold, and as long as it stays right here, more than likely we'll stay in a buy, and it might become next week's work, We'll see what kind of action we really get out of this, and then we'll go from there. When it comes to on J4X, take a look at the daily, and it's looking pretty much the same way. Oop, not there, right there. There, daily. And same thing, red, red, red. We had a green and a red there one day, but it's been pretty much red all the way across. And we've been below, tried to get into the buy side, but failed right there. We can review them if you like. What's that? What's Mina asking? Am I missing something? Mina, what markets do you look at? Yeah, you have any particular product you'd like to see? We can jump over to it. Because we're just going to go through the old rhythm that we show every day here. And same thing, George. If you got anything you want to see, give a yell. We'll go take a look at it. I was a little surprised to see gold and silver underneath this morning. We'll see how that lasts. And then we go to Swiss. And Swiss jumped into the buy there yesterday. There was a little charge into it. But the weekly, you can see here, is still pressing down, from this high area here. So I'm not concerned about it. This is just, now if there's ever a dead cat bounce, this is the week for it. This is the day for it, really, honestly. With nobody around or lack of volume. Right there's the Swiss. You see it's trying to perk its head up for 2 days now on the daily, just like ours right there. And then we check out the weekly right there. Currencies. Okay. Well, that's what we're doing. We're going through the currencies, so that works. We've just done the euro, we just did the British pound, and now we are at the Swiss. And you can see that Swiss weekly doing the same thing as it's doing here. That slow, steady process down. All right, and from there we slide over to the yen. Let's see, right? Where is the yen? There it is, right there. And we'll put it up over here at the same time. And it's up a little bit, and you can see it's trying to get into the buy as we speak right there. It's above the 0 line. The weekly is like the honey badger. It doesn't care. It's in a sell. You can see that right there. Went into the sell from up in here, and it's just hanging out down there. They changed the Bank of Japan policy. So they've moved the rates from, I guess, 0 to 0.05 versus minus 2.5 to 2.5 plus. Or 0 to, so a quarter point to a half a point. That's what it really comes down to. And they will vacillate back and forth, in other words, ride up and down, up and down. And then, let's see, then we go to, where do we go? We go to the Turkish lira. Let's see what they're up to, the Turkish lira. Right there. And you see that, I think they pushed that into a sell yesterday. And there's the weekly. So let's put it up over here to start off with. Yeah, they pushed it into the sell. Let's widen this out a little bit for you. So yesterday it went into the sell right there. And it's pretty much unched. Let's see, it closed yesterday at 1980. Is that 1980? Yeah, 1980.18. And today it's trading at 1982.60. So yeah, it's pushing a little bit down, still, but it's higher today than it was yesterday's close. And the weekly, it's like the honey badger. It don't care either. What is the name of these indicators, please? They are our proprietary. We call them the gas lines because they're it's a combination of Gauss and Lagrange and Hamiltonian, and it's all mixed flavor or something I developed basically to try to understand atomic process. And so we just put it to the market back in the late 70s, early 80s, and it seems to work just as good in the market as it does everywhere else. Isotopes and so forth and so on, thermodynamics and galaxies, it does all kinds of great scientific calculations. Alrighty. So that's our proprietary math. We've been doing it for, like I said, like almost 5 decades now. 70s, 80s, 90s, 10s, and 20s. So 5 decades. It's like four plus basically it's on the edge of 5 decades we've been doing it now. Just on the plus side of 5 decades. All right, and so there it is, right there. That's the euro. What we do is we do an emulating thing that has some characteristics of the same over on J4X. So this is the weekly indicator. Let's see. Can send your way if you wish. Oh yeah. Robin will send you charts if you're interested in seeing charts. Send it through the email. This is the weekly right there. When we go and it matches up generally very well to our math. And then that's Hinky ASCII bars. And then over here, it's like the half spin in the atomic particles or full spin. And then you have there's the daily. You see daily's been Hinky ASCII bars in a buy. These lines down below is a fast stochastic right there versus a slow stochastic. And we look at when one is over the other. In this case here, the green one is still underneath here. So we'll push it up like that. There we go. Oh, almost getting it together. Trying to get them to merge together into one screen like we had on the old J4X. We'll figure it out sooner or later. What you see here, with the Turkish lira is basically it's just sideways action, no major changes. It is parked at the top end of its range. I mean, we know all-time highs is like 2030, and this thing's hanging at 1980. It would take nothing to send this thing through the roof and take out all-time highs again. But I kind of doubt we'll see that this week. All right. Now, let's see. Let's go over to. Sometimes we take a look at the dollar, but right now the dollar is just so less exciting. The dollar, and that's the dollar Turkish lira. Maybe we should. It's the last day of the week. Let's take a quick peek at what the dollar Turkish lira looks like. Right. Where are you? I guess we haven't done it on this one yet. All right, let's put that up there. So it's USD. And Turkish lira. Right there. And so you can see here the Turkish lira is, this is the daily, so this will be interesting. And we'll put it up over here on Chicago Quant. That's the name of our website, Chicago Quant Technologies. Where is it at? Right there. Let's see if we can come up with something here. There we go. Why is that not in there? Let's see. I don't see it. It's not there. So let's do this. There we are. And I should park that. Here we go. We're going to put a little picture up there for you. Where's that go? It goes right inside trading. So it's fine trading. And there it is. And then let's move this over so you can see it. There it is. Chicago Quant Technologies. Right there. And there's the email. You can see it right there. You can go to the website. And you can contact Robin. He'll send you charts for a couple of weeks. So you can get a flavor of it. Let's just put it up there one more time. Like so. There we are. Ta-da! All right. Now from there, we're looking at the dollar Turkish lira. Let's spill it all out. You can see here we are still in a weekly sell since these wild spikes. You see all these wild spikes there. Some of the liquidity problem. Seems like they've smoothed most of it out. You can see it's trying to go into a sell today. It's been in a daily buy for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. As long as they stay above the zero line, the histogram or the green line, both of them are going to, in this case here, both of them, which they normally do. Let's put it right there like that. That's the zero line. Let's make that smaller, a little bit more easier to read. So they're all above that. That puts them in a buy, and you can see the upwardly trend. And same token, we have right here the weekly has been underneath since here. And it's found a way to go lower, but it hasn't taken out that high there. So that's the way it works. Let's see. Hello, traders, gamblers, and everyone. I like that. That's it. Yeah, we can show you a live trade. Want to see this live trade? It's a very good question. I'm glad you asked it. Do you have a particular currency you want to see? We can come up with something live with no problem. Let's see. Where's it at? Right there. Here's the S&P 500 trading live. It's kind of quiet, but nothing major. We'll focus in on one. There we go. So you can see, let's widen this out so you can see it very clearly. So over the last 3 hours, it goes into a sell right here. Let's put a line on there. You'll be able to see it. This is live. You'll see it down at the end. Go like that. We're going to make this white, like so, and extend it like so. There we are. And so you can see we go into a sell there, and then you can see the product has a natural tendency to go down in value. It gets right here and gets into a buy, one tick, one bar, and then still in the buy, still in the buy, still in the buy, in a sell right there with the red dot and the line underneath. Now what happened here, let's explain to you what's going on there. It goes into the buy there because it's a green. See that right there? Green bar. The next bar, you can see the histogram makes it into the minus, but it's a green dot, so it's still staying in the buy. Then it goes to there, it gets back into the plus, it's still in a buy, it's still losing a little do re mi, unless you put a stop out there to protect yourself from that. And then here it goes into a sell right there because it's a red dot or no dot. Let's see, let's go back to it again, and the histogram is underneath, as you see right there. Let's widen this too, give you a little bit more flavor and action of it all. There we are. So you can see that's underneath the zero line right there. Now we're in the sell again on an intraday basis, right now live. And you can see it goes down in value. Now you can see the rest of them across will go right to where we're at now. It went into the buy. Where'd it go into the buy? Was it right there? We'll tell you in a second. Went into the buy right there. And then it goes into a sell right there. Another loser after all those nice wins. And it gets right back into the buy and makes your money back. And it was in the buy all the way up to what's happening right now live right there. You can see it. We're generating, we'll leave this there because that's the original buy right there. No, back there. There's the original buy. You can see it's flirting right now. Let's move this over. And this is ticking away live. This is the S&P 500. And you can see right there it's trying to generate a sell. We still have 190 excuse me, 94 contracts to go. We use a spatial thing. So there it is going live, Mina. That is live. And we'll see if it closes in the sell. And you can watch to see how it goes sideways up a little bit or down. We'll see which action it gets. The shorts so far have not been very successful. Now the other two underneath here, this is gas line 12 versus, excuse me, this is gas line 3.5. This has two gas lines in it. The blue one is 3, the green is 5 right there, and the histogram is 5. So it's basically a 5. I look at 12, I look at 9 just for the fun of it because it's very fast moving. We are 108 bars away, as you can see right there. And we'll keep an eye on that. And we're down to 87, 70, 36. We're getting ready to close and confirm it. So it looks like it's going to close in the sell. There's 11. And then we'll see what the next bar does. And 5 contracts, 3 contracts, 1 contract. And it should start it. Come on, there's a trade. There we go. 5 contracts trade. Now you can see this thing's turning up. Going to give you an opportunity to try to sell it again. Overall, the pressure is on the downside. And we'll see because it closed in that sell. Let's see if it takes out this low. And then we'll see if it takes out that low. A lot of times we can get a little shift back and forth. And then it starts to roll over. It's a very predictive system ahead of curve. It's starting to move fast now. We're at 147. We've just taken out. It's a 286 contract chart. And so now if this was a green dot and then this closes like that, that would put it back into a buy. Now we're having a green and a red. Let's see how that treats with 32 to go. And that'll keep it still in a sell. If it closes like this in the next, there it is, it's done. Let's see what it does there. There we go. Now let's see if this rolls over here. Because we are in a sell from right there live. So far all the sells have been very poor. Now it looks like it's trying to put it into the buy again. So each one of these sells have been, when's the last time we had a good sell this morning? I don't think we've had, yeah, I guess we had some. This one was okay. And that was at the London Open. This one was okay. But since London has been open and Europe has been open, it has been kind of, okay, there was one right there. That was a good sell. Let's see how she's doing at the moment, live. Look at that. They're trying to give us that red-green again. This might get into that minus. Odds are that it should. 8.5 out of 10. And when it's wrong, it'll make the money back for you. Let's see. It's very close to closing there. Okay. So if you didn't get stopped out, one thing's for sure, you're going to get long at the close of this bar for sure. Look at this. It's already closed. It's in a buy. Now it's jumped into a buy. And this was a loss live right there. And now we'll see if it makes it back. And I put it into the buy right there at, what was that? 59.75. It traded up to 60.75. Let's see if it keeps on climbing now because it's looking very firm. And it's going to make back the money that it lost. And new bar is getting ready to open. There we go. Let's see if this lifts up nicely again. So there you go. You got it live. And we'll watch it for a little bit longer. And then from there, we will jump over to some of the currencies again. I want to see how this plays out. And how much did this one lose? If it made you short at 57.75 and you covered at 59.25, that's 1.5. And then from the 59.25, 1.5 would be 60.75, and it got to 60.75 right there. So it actually has gotten to that point. You could have taken your money or keep on riding it at this point, and you would have gotten your money back from what you gave up already. And so that, oh, let's see, it just knocked out. Let's get that going again. Sorry about that. There we are. And back to there. Sorry about that. There we are. And you can see it's starting to flirt with the sell a little bit there. It's in the red. There we go. Yep. If I can get this to work. And so you can see it's still in a buy. And that little punch, so it made back what it lost in exact numbers. And now we're going to see if it's going to give us another little push on the upside here, since it's still in the buy right here. Let's put that little we can do it this way. And let's put the rectangle in and follow it through that for a little bit. There we are. When you see a red and a green, it usually indicates some volatility kicking up in the very short term. So we can actually measure volatility on an intraday basis through not the options itself. Obviously, it's like watching the beta of a product. And you can see there we're just sitting still. It's still in the buy. It's not letting go. And there, look, it's flatlined really. Here we go. Maybe there's another punch, and they'll get it up into the 62 or 63 area from it. Let's see. Back to 60s. 60 and a quarter. While we're talking about that, where did we leave off? We left off at the Turkish lira. There's, was that 60 and a half is the high now in that bar. Where did we go from there? Turkish lira. Oh, I know. We go over to the Canadian. So I'm going to put Canadian up on J4X. And also at the same time, you know what we could do is we could put the, let's see, Canadian, there it is, right there. Where to get to now? It's another high. So what is that? That's 61 even. It's getting up top of that box I just threw in there for the generality of it all. So we're hanging around in the 61 area. So that's intraday action. Okay, now we can go back and forth and look at it. Now that you've seen it actually live, it's live, not Memorex, as they used to say back in the 20th century. Again, it's ours. We've invented them. We invented these indicators. It's my physics. We call them gas lines because that's a combination of Gauss and Hamiltonian and Lagrange and lines. It was like Elvis for Lagrange and things like that. Let's see, where do we go from it? And so, but we have over on J4X things that emulate it a little bit right there, as you can see, on the daily and weekly. So let's see what the high was there out of it all. The high was 61.25. And that's what we were talking about, 61 to 62. Now it's starting to flirt with a sell, as you can see here, starting to back off. Now it's in a sell. So that was the excitement right there. It's in a sell. Now let's see what they're doing. Closed in a sell right there at 59 even. So let's see what they do with that. See if they, send it down from it or something like that. Let's see what that looks like. We'll just make that an oval. There we go. For shorts. Okay, so where was I at? I have no problem hanging out here. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. We got somebody else speaking too. Solomon, how you doing, Solomon? Let me read what you had to say. Sorry about that. I was enthralled in the intraday trading, which we talk about once in a while right here. Let me go back and look at it from the beginning. Hello, traders, gamblers, and everyone else. Okay, cool. I don't count on the traditional indicators anymore. Nope, neither do I. Fundamentals are gone too. It is lagging. Without a doubt, MACD is a lagging indicator as far as I'm concerned. Robin says, our indicator is proactive, not lagging. Exactly. Let's see. This query foremost, in my mind, why the hedge fund keep watching each trade closely and why when we open the platform, they move against our trades. Well, I'm not sure if hedge funds are that deeply involved. I'm sure like, high frequency trading is, but I don't think it's much more than that. And there are very few high frequency operations. I need a platform to hide my trade off the hedge fund observation in this possibility. No, our math is just ahead of the hedge fund. Our robot ends up, trapping the hedge funds all the time, high frequency traders. Is these indicators 3 in J4X platform? No, but what we do is we use something that's close to it. It's just more slower, that's all. But it's faster than MACD, and that is the fast stochastic against the slow stochastic. We'll show you the there it is there highlighted. See if we can show you that edit indicator. So the slow stochastic, there's the ramification. All we're following is the D. Okay, so when you go look at the output, that's all we're following is the D. And then the same thing with the fast. We watch those, and we set this up so that at least it would look a lot like our work. And there's the D again. So you can see the inputs right there. And you can tweak them and work on them and so forth. Let's see. These. Okay, yes, Mina. Solomon says, Robin, through my long trade experience, I feel certain that everything is closely observed by the hedge fund. Hedge funds are losing money. You don't worry about the hedge funds and the PPL who moves this market. PPL. Which one's PPL? That sounds familiar. I forget what PPL is. But hedge funds are losing money. They're for a decade now. Hedge funds are really underwater or underperforming. So I wouldn't worry about the hedge funds. High frequency traders, and there's very few of them, but high frequency traders are a possibility. In other words, they're more involved. But and again, they only benefit because they're buying and selling orders at the same time and are able to lay off the trades. That's pretty much part of it. Let's see. Robin. Solomon says, "Hope so." So okay. So I am talking about traditional indicators such as MACD, stochastic. Stochastics, when used right, can be much more. Are way ahead of the MACD. That's for sure. Let's see. So Solomon says, "I am feeling great myself. Thank you." Let's see. Solomon also alarmed. Hope so. Let's see. MACD. Okay. Solomon also says, "Okay, let us see how further we might go on this open gold trade tournament." Sure, that's no problem. Solomon says, "All I have made this morning is $812." Okay. Solomon says now it's $8,012. Okay. Okay. What's PPL? People? Just people in general? Look, anything public has to be disseminated. I know black pools and so forth, do certain things like don't report things for a day or two, but they do end up in the open interest and in the trades in the end. You see them. But trust me, it's not the hedge funds that are chasing you around in a circle. There's some high frequency traders, but overall they don't do that well. Yeah, people. Paranoia will destroy you. But you are right about the old indicators like the MACDs and the moving averages and so forth. They're very, very behind the curve. Now you can see here, let's widen this out. Our sell was okay. It was a sell at 59. It got down to 58. Nothing, just barely moving. It's a very quiet market. And you can see our math picked it up ahead of the time. Now it's starting to flirt with a buy. Let's see what that does. The buys seem to be much stronger than the sells. Where will the dollar go next year? Same place it is now. What do you mean, where will it go? Up or down? We only predict a week at a time. That's how we do it. Just 1 week at a time. So ask me where the dollar is going next week, but not a year. I would think personally, not technically, but personally, I would think the dollar would go down more against the pairs trades over the next year. That's what I'm thinking. Still in a sell. It is still in a sell. We can move this over. Maybe this is going to push it into a buy. I don't know. Let's see. Still in a sell, getting very close. Look at that. It's at the zero, and you can see the box right there. So, let's see. Mina says, what your opinion about SMC? What is SMC? SMC, is that an indicator? Yeah, I would think. I think the dollars. We talk about it here all the time. The dollar is way overpriced. Now, what did they do? Did they go after the low? They just missed the low, right, by a quarter. It's very dead. I mean, this thing's moving in a 1.5 point, 2 point ranges. This is very dead. It's the day before Christmas. It's like, oh, look at this. They're trying to push it into the buy now. Let's see what they do there. It's a red and a green. It'll still keep it in the sell unless that red disappears. Let's see. Smart money. Smart money. Not Jim Cramer, please. Cramer's a goofball. Still in a sell because it was a red and a green. Now let's see if this one puts it into the buy. Smart money. Is there such thing as smart money? Usually smart money doesn't tell you they're smart. They hide. Like, what Solomon's talking about when I said paranoia will destroy you? Well, smart money does its best to stay out of sight of everybody. So, looks like we're going to get into a buy with no problem here. So we'll put a rectangle there. Let's see what that does. That looks like it's going to close in a buy with no problem. Let's see. Solomon says, watch cable Swiss. They may break below 112. Okay. I don't trade cable Swiss, but if somebody out there sees that, pay attention to it because Solomon thinks it's going to happen, possibly. We have a saying on the trading floor with statements like that. If it doesn't go up, it'll go down. If it doesn't go down, it might go up. That's the way we think of things. So, but the cable has been somewhat. Look at the cable. Let's just do this real quick. We're in the buy now too. Look at the cable. How. Here's the cable. It kind of validates to a great extent. Look how leaky the cable is against the dollar. Okay, and it's trying to put some pressure on the upside here. Then take a look at the way the Swiss has been functioning over here. And you can see. Now, let's show Solomon some fun. We're going to give you some love. Let's put up a cable Swiss chart. Let's do that. Cable Swiss chart. There's Euro GBP. So let's do this. Let's grab the yen and we'll put it in there. So let's make a copy of that. And then we'll go down. I love doing this. This is always fun. Oh, and let's give you a quick view of what's going on that buy. It's going nowhere. It's only going up like 1 or 2 ticks. Okay. Let's go back to this and let's put this in. Let's see. Let me just double check it. Yep. Good. This is the bottom. All right. That's fine. What we'll do is we'll go like that. Remove that. And we're going to put in GBP. And CHF. GBP. GBP. One more time. It's not in the system right now. Look up. There it is. There we are. And GBP. Swiss, there you go. Solomon right there. Playing with a sell. And so let's see what your statement was. Watch GBP. They maybe break below. Yep, our math is showing the same thing. There's your weekly right there at the bottom, as you see right there. So there it is right there. You can see. Now what's going on here? We got to widen this out. Let's get the daily going. The math is so minute. It is so minute. That's why when you first start it out, we have to expand it, make it larger. See, down, 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 down. It'll see how well it matches up against the dollar yen too. That's what those lines represent. There's the 0 line. Let's widen this more. Our math is so minute. Because I designed it for atomic theory. Okay, now we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Here we go. There we are. Now we're starting to get there. Let's widen this a little bit more. There we are. Now, let's just move this up a little bit to give it a little bit more space. And there's the weekly below. Okay, so it's been in a buy. It went into the buy all the way out in here. So that's where it went into the buy. And it stayed in the buy all the way until this week. So it's been in a buy since this spot right here. And a weekly buy right there. And then you can see right there we are pushing into the sell. So you are right. It wants to go into a sell right there. It's below the 0 line. Now on the daily basis, let's widen that out a little bit more, like so. Bring it down a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. Wrong one. And let's try this. There we are. All right, so you can see we can move this out of the way. We move this out of the way. Actually, we could put that sell in. Let's move this out of the way. Went into a daily sell right here. Let's grab that again. Went into the daily sell right there. You can see it kept on sliding down. Went into the daily buy. Let's move that one out of the way. Right there. Is it there? Nope, right there. Went to the daily buy. You can see for a couple of days it went up and we were in a weekly buy. So you can take that trade. Whereas this one, you just make sure you're not in the long anymore. That's all. And then we can see the sell was right there for a whole day. 2 days, I guess it was. And then it had a volatility signal right there. And then the next day it went into the buy. So those 2 days, let's do this too. We'll make the histograms a little bit thicker. Style. There we are. And then there's the buy right there. There's the sell right there. There's the buy right there. From there was a buy, so you could take that trade too. That was a nice win trade. Because it's in a weekly buy right here. How's that, Solomon? Pretty cool, huh? So it's confirming your weakness. Let's see. Opinion about this. Dollar next year. GBC, Solomon. I've been trading this since this morning and I have made 812. Okay. Good for you. I wish you Happy New Year and Merry Christmas. Thank you. Same to you. And Solomon says, is there any trade strategy in how to identify the trading range? Well, the time manifolds can do that. They tell you, notice that when the green line starts to, let's see if we can do this. And we'll move this down. On the daily, you can see here that when this time manifold starts to get pierced, notice it tries to go down for 2 days here. But they don't make new lows, but they try. It breaks it here. And it's underneath, but keeps on finding ways to go back up. So there's no surprise since we're in a weekly buy. And then we do it again. We get through the time manifold here, extremely high out of it. And then when it breaks it again here, you can see the pressure on it again for a couple days. These are daily bars. And you can see it tries to get up. So you can find a range in different ways with our math. You can go back and look further. You can see like here, it breaks down here and you can see the pressure on it there, that type of thing. But yeah, overall it the tools are very good, giving you a general range on a day-to-day basis. Oh, before Mina, I hope you didn't leave. Let's go check out the intraday again. So the buy is still a buy. It almost got into the sell, but missed it right there. Bounced off the line. So it's been in a buy since here. Went up and went to the 62. And you can see it's still trying to roll over, but still hanging up in there. And the buy has been on throughout that whole thing right there. Like that. There we go. It's not a big move, but it's showing you intraday trading at a very precise level. All right. So, let's see. Where do we go from here? And at the same time, Solomon, you can see this action here on the day-to-day basis. It's it's still hanging out and breaking down. So more than likely, let's remove that. There we are. It's more than likely you're going to see some pressure over the next 3-5 days on the downside. It'll keep on pressing. Could be like sideways a little bit because of the holidays, and then it starts to do a breakdown. Yes, BB with Stoke. BB? Yeah, check out the short term. It's still doing that. Still in the buy. It's a sloppy buy, but it's a buy. It almost got into the sell on these guys. You can see that was very close. It held on to the zero line, but it's trying. It's trying, and it's still in the buy. Bollinger Band. Yes, the manifold. Let me show you that. The manifold itself is a standard deviation. So yeah, that's like John's work. Sometimes what we'll do is people will say, hey, how does this compare to Bollinger, or how does it compare to MACD? And what we do is we put our chart up, and then we put a Bollinger Band up. You'll see how far behind the Bollinger Band is. And that's because our math is it's doing a standard deviation just like John's is doing, John Bollinger, but it's not as advanced as ours is. That's all. So Bollinger Band, S1, ABD, BB, S2 works well. Bollinger Band, yeah, they're all right. They're behind us, but they're good tools. But they're not, ours are better. That's all. And we do that. We do it live all the time. When someone wants to say, okay, let's see, and I go back and I show the history. And we could even go live with this intraday. We'll create an intraday page, and you can see the difference between our manifolds, which I call nonlinear time manifolds. That's what that's what these golden lines are right here. They are a mirror image Bollinger Band concept. In the sense of, well, it's a standard deviation. It's not Bollinger. John uses 1s and 2s. A 1 standard deviation, a 2 standard deviation. You see, Solomon says at the end we all are under the mercy of the hedge fund people. I don't agree with that, since I worked in the hedge fund industry and I follow what's going on in the hedge fund industry. Trust me, they're not smarter than anybody. They're moving money, which moves illiquid products, but I mean overall, the hedge fund industry on the globe across the planet is doing horrible since 2008. So, I mean, you got Tapper and some of the good funds they're functioning much better because they're not following anything more than just the politics. So, that is what it is. But I'm not scared of the hedge fund industry at all. I don't find it, is it really moving markets? I would say more. If you want to put a blame on something that's distorting the markets, look at the Federal Reserve. That's where the distortion's coming from. That's where it is. Yeah. But not. Let's see. Oh, is this? Solomon said, no, Robin said, okay, let's see, at the end of the, okay, yeah. Divergence? I would say slow and fast stochastic to a great extent combined together. That would be the best public indicator for you. Obviously, our work is much more advanced than that, but if you're going to gravitate, stay away from like a MACD and moving averages, and gravitate towards two competing stochastics itself. We're going to get news in about 10 minute something. Let's see what time is it is. Yeah, we should be getting news. There it goes. There's the news. There you go. Look at that. And it caught it too. Here's the cell. We went into the cell right here. So we went into the cell on this bar right, where is it at? Right there. Is it there? No. Is it there? Yeah. Right there. And let's make that go all the way down. So the math picked it up ahead of time. Right there. There we go. So it went into the cell right there. It was a red and a green right there, so it didn't move you. And so you're still in a cell all the way to right here, I guess. Right there. And now it's in a buy. Is it a buy? Yep. Still in a buy. So it has gone into the buy right here. So it's in the buy now. That's the buy. Intraday buy. There we are. And oh, okay, it went into the cell right here. Now we're in a cell. So we move this back. There's the cell with some action. That's right there is the cell right here. So it went into the cell right there on this one. And it's in a cell now. You see it drop down. So there you're seeing action now. Where it was dead, it was accurate. Now you're seeing it's live and it's accurate. Let's see. So there's a... Oh, let's see what the numbers are. Inflation is backing off. That's what it is. So, and it's still in a cell. It's still in a cell. So this whole thing is in an intraday cell still from here. That's all a cell. See, cell. It's a red, so it's still in a cell. Cell. Red in a cell. Cell. Okay, here we go. It went into a buy right there. It went into a buy, so we'll move this back. This is in hot action. You're seeing our math work in hot action. And as I always say here, if your daily and your intraday and your weekly don't match up, then you have a bad indicator. They have to all work together. In other words, they have to use same math, just different reference points time-wise. So we went into the buy right here for a couple trades. So let's put where's it at? Right here. Whoop. Like that. There's the buy. Right to here. That was the buy. Oh, not there because that's a sell. At that box, it's a sell now. Actually, the sell is right here, so it's bar back. So there's a sell, and now we're in the sell again from. Let's see, from here. Are we in a cell? Let's see. Right there. There we go. So now we've been in a cell from here. It pushed it into a buy again right there. That's a buy for 1 bar, and it pushes it into a sell. Still in a sell. Still in a sell. So it's been in a sell. It went in 1 bar into a box of buy right there. That was the buy. Right there. That one. And now it's back into the sell again. So basically, that's the sell, and it stayed in the sell because you see here we got a red and a green. So it's still in a sell. Still in a sell, still in a sell, still in a sell, still in a sell. Now it's in a buy right there. So we can move that back. It's moving faster than I can draw on the chart. Okay. So it goes back into a buy right here. There's the buy. And that's the buy. It's still in the buy. Okay. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, in the GBP CFS. Let's see what that looks like. There it is right there. Yeah, it's been in a daily sell. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So it's been in a daily sell since the 15th. It's in a sell. And it's battling, to stay, get into the weekly sell. There's the weekly sell signal. So more than likely, we're going to probably see some, weakness over this whole time frame of the next couple of weeks. Remember, it's end of the year and all that other stuff. So it's a lot of junk trading going on too. Well, that's good. If it doesn't make a new low, then it could make a new high. Who knows? We'll see. Looks like it's telling us, all our work says it wants to go down. We'll find out. But you do see this at the same time. It's a higher low right here. We're getting a volatility signal, green and a red on the daily. So it could be a day or two of action, going sideways. You've seen how the intraday works. Well, the daily is going to be the same way. So you get this, and then it might roll over again. So you might have a couple of days of pressure on the upside here more because it's trying to lift up at the moment. We'll see. And we went into the sell right here. So the buy lasted all the way to there. One more. Right there. There you go. And then when it closed in a sell right there. So there was the buy, intraday buy. And went in a sell. And now we're back into an intraday buy again right there. So the sell was like this. Not sure why it didn't show that. Let's try that again. Where's that little circly thing? So it went into the sell like right there. And then it just climbed into a buy right there on this one right there. And it's going up. So I guess Solomon and Mina, you've had a chance to see some real good action here today. We've seen a market. Let's go back and recap. Recap it. And that is, you can see right here when we first started paying attention to all this, you see how dead it was. And it was still reading the math pretty well for a dead marketplace, And then it finally went into the sell right there. And then the news came out and it fell apart. So pretty cool, huh? You can do those little clap things. All right, traders, I'm going to get back to trading, and we will see you all. Are we here on Monday? If so, I'll be here on Monday. So if we're here on Monday, I'll be here Monday. And if not, we'll be here Tuesday. If Dukascopy's open, I'm open. And if you're, again, curious, excuse me, about, our math and so forth and so on, and, just the whole gig, you can always go right to there. So this is Doc from North America saying, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. All right, traders, have a safe and smart holiday, blessed weekend for most, if not all, one way or the other. So this is Doc saying Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, and anything else out there. I'm a supporter of it. Ciao, ciao for now.